Mara had always believed danger announced itself. She imagined it as a scream in the dark, a man running, a knife catching the light. She imagined time to react, a moment when instinct would rise up and save her. But the van didn't screech to a halt. It slowed politely. It matched her pace as she walked home from her late shift at the pharmacy. Her coat pulled tight against the November wind. The streetlights hummed. A dog barked somewhere behind a fence. Everything was ordinary enough to make her ignore the vehicle until the window rolled down. "Excuse me," a man said. His voice was calm, tired. "Do you know if this street connects to Belrow Avenue?" Mara stopped. She shouldn't have. She would replay that moment 1,000 times later. But she did. She stepped closer, squinting through the darkness. There were 2 men in the front. One smiled apologetically. The other stared straight ahead. "I think so," she said. "If you—" The side door slid open. Hands grabbed her coat, her arm, her hair. The world tilted violently. Her phone hit the pavement and shattered. She screamed once before something pressed hard against her mouth, flooding her senses with chemical sweetness and panic. The door slammed. The van drove on. No one noticed. When Mara woke up, she had a new name. It was stitched into the collar of the shirt she wore now. Rough cotton, gray, already faded. Lena. Her wrists ached, her throat burned. The room was windowless and smelled faintly of disinfectant and mold. There were no clocks, no mirrors. A woman stood by the door, older, hair pulled tight, her face lined not with age, but with something harder. "You're awake," she said. "Good, that saves time." "Where am I?" Mara croaked. The woman ignored the question. "You listen carefully," she continued. "You are safe as long as you follow instructions. You are not special. You are replaceable. If you try to run, you will be punished. If you cooperate, you will live comfortably enough." She slid a plastic card onto the table, a barcode, a number. "This is you now." Mara shook her head weakly. "My name is—" The woman leaned forward. Her voice dropped. "Your name was erased the moment you stepped into the van." Then she left. Mara learned there were many rooms like hers. They were stacked like boxes inside an old industrial building far from the city. A place once meant for storage, now repurposed for people. Doors opened at set hours. Meals were delivered without conversation. Sometimes she caught glimpses of others, women mostly, though not all, being escorted down the corridor. Some looked empty, some looked defiant. One, a girl no older than 16, whispered as they passed each other. "They took my sister last year," she said quickly. "I think I found her." Before Mara could respond, a guard shoved the girl forward. That night, Mara cried quietly into her pillow, terrified that someone might hear her and decide she was no longer worth the trouble. It wasn't chaos. That was the most terrifying part. It was organized. Schedules, logs, assignments, transfers. They were trained, not violently at first, but persistently, taught new languages, new habits, new ways to answer questions. Their accents were corrected. Their memories were discouraged. "You remember too much," one instructor told Mara during a session. "That's dangerous." She learned that some women were sent abroad with forged documents, some were sold locally, some were leased. The word made her stomach twist. They were assets, inventory. And when one disappeared, fell ill, resisted too much, broke, another took her place. Always another. Mara met Anna during meal distribution week 6, though she only guessed the number of weeks by the pattern of her own exhaustion. Anna had been there longer. "You don't survive by being strong," Anna whispered one night when the lights dimmed. "You survive by being invisible." Anna had been kidnapped outside a train station in another country. Promised work, promised papers. "They said I owed them," Anna said. "For the ride, for the food, for the bed. The debt never ends." Mara asked the question she was afraid of. "Does anyone ever get out?" Anna didn't answer immediately. "Sometimes," she said finally. "But not the way you imagine." The man with the clipboard arrived once a month. He wore clean clothes and smelled faintly of cologne. He smiled as if he were visiting an office, not a warehouse of stolen lives. He looked at Mara carefully. "She's still thinking," he said to the woman who had renamed her. "That will fade," the woman replied. "Make sure it does," the man said. "Thinking leads to hope. Hope leads to mistakes." He checked a box on the clipboard. Mara wondered if the box was for her continued existence. One night, alarms sounded. Doors slammed. Footsteps echoed. Voices shouted. The next morning, one bed was empty. The guards didn't explain. They didn't have to. That evening, they brought the girl back. She was alive. Barely. They didn't beat her in private. They did it where everyone could hear. "Running is contagious," the woman said coldly. "So we cure it." After that, no one spoke of escape again. Not aloud. It happened during a transfer. Mara was moved with 3 others to a smaller building near a port city. She noticed details instinctively now. The smell of salt, the cry of gulls, the pattern of traffic. One guard was careless, younger, distracted by his phone. During unloading, Mara stumbled deliberately. Her barcode card fell from her pocket. The guard cursed and bent to pick it up. For half a second, she was alone. She ran. Her legs screamed. Her lungs burned. She made it past the fence, past stacked crates, toward the sound of water. A hand caught her hair. She screamed this time. Really screamed. Someone else shouted. Then everything went black. They didn't beat her. They isolated her. No light, no sound, no sense of time. When she was finally released, something inside her had shifted. "You see?" Anna whispered when Mara returned, hollow-eyed. "Not all punishment leaves marks." Mara nodded slowly. She was learning. Months later, or years, she wasn't sure, Mara saw her name on a list. Not Lena, her real name. It was written incorrectly, but close enough to make her heart stop. She realized then that somewhere, someone still remembered her, or was looking for her. Hope returned, quietly, dangerously. The night the raid came, it sounded unreal. Shouting, sirens, explosions, doors torn open, light flooded spaces that had never known it. Mara froze. Anna grabbed her hand. "Don't run," she whispered. "Let them see you." Men in uniforms poured in, guns raised, voices shouting in a language Mara barely recognized. A woman knelt in front of her, eyes wide. "You're safe now," she said. "It's over." Mara laughed hysterically. Over felt like a word from another life. Recovery was not simple. There were interviews, doctors, therapists. Mara flinched at kindness, distrusted silence, panicked in locked rooms. Mara learned that the network spanned multiple countries, that thousands vanished this way every year, that many women would never be identified. Many weren't. Anna wasn't on the bus back. No one could tell Mara where she'd gone. Months later, Mara returned home. Her apartment felt too small, too loud, too free. She couldn't sleep, couldn't stand in closed spaces, couldn't forget the hum of fluorescent lights. She joined support groups, gave statements, helped identify faces. But sometimes, at night, she thought about the others. the ones who learned to be invisible, the ones who didn't scream in time, the ones whose names were replaced by barcodes. Years later, Mara worked with an organization that helped find missing persons. One night, she received a message, a photo, a woman standing near a border checkpoint, thinner, older but unmistakable. Anna, alive. The message ended abruptly. "We think she's still in transit." Mara stared at the screen, heart pounding. The door between freedom and captivity, she realized, never truly closed. It only waited. Somewhere, tonight, a van would slow. Someone would ask for directions. Someone would stop. And the world would keep moving, quietly, without noticing another name being erased. If this story made you uneasy, let us know. Like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe for more stories inspired by real events that refuse to be forgotten.